My first job I was hired as a voyage accountant, which means nothing to you, but a voyage accountant in a maritime firm basically analyzes each voyage financially. And you learn about port costs, you learn about agency fees, you learn about pilotage fees, you learn about canal tolls, and you actually learn the fundamentals of the cost of moving cargo. And I joined as a voyage accountant to a company called FedNav. And FedNav is arguably, I think it's Canada's largest shipping maritime group, privately owned. And I was very, very fortunate because it was a great, great training ground for me to get involved in the industry. And I spent my first 6 months in the financial area. And then I happened to write a report on a new business that FedNav was trying to develop. And knowing nothing about the industry or the business, I wrote a six-page report and suggested it was never going to make any money. And of course, about a month later, someone came up to the accounting floor and said, "Who the hell is Anthony Whitworth?" And it turned out to be the executive VP of FedNav, a guy named Mike Bell. And he had me literally a week later working in the chartering department of FedNav, learning, chartering of ships. So that's how I started.
I mean, I've gathered some principles that you have been open about in order to create a successful career as a leader, as a shipping executive. And the first principle you highlighted was integrity. Can you explain why integrity is so essential and why it matters in shipping if you're going to have a successful career?
It is absolutely the paramount characteristic, in my opinion, that you've got to have in an organization. And integrity flows from the top of an organization. I used to have a pyramid structure. So I used to tell people the CEO's down here and we're sort of supporting the organization. So I'll change that and say integrity starts at the bottom and flows up through an organization. And it's particularly important in our industry because it's such a global business. And if you go to certain countries, customs may be different than they are in Hamburg or in Oslo. You may have commissions that come up and different things of this nature. And so integrity, I think, drives all things in business. And I think it's terribly important to have integrity flow through your organization. A great example, I look back at my time at Navios. Back in the mid 80s, we started trading BIFEX, which were contracts before the Baltic and the FFA market started. And in those days, there was no exchange. It was a principal to principal. And there was an enormous energy company down in Texas called Enron. And we wanted to trade some contracts with Enron. And we had to get Enron approved. And we went, and Navios compared to Enron was a small company. And we went through hurdles of, over weeks of getting, the approvals and finally got approved. And, it must have been 18 months later that Enron went bankrupt. And it was, all types of lack of integrity in that organization. Ended up costing us about $1.5 million on our derivative book. But integrity, I think, really, that for me, is the number one thing in an organization because it affects all other aspects of your business.
Yeah, so true. But then again, what's fascinating in shipping is that, given the geopolitical events we're having, whether that's Venezuela, Iran, things, sanctions, Russia, it also changes quite quickly. And you have this gray fleet and the dark fleet. So you sort of have to be quite good at adjusting and putting that integrity and having it always, in a good place, I guess.
It's got to be, in my opinion, it's got to be the fabric of an organization, and it flows not just in the chief suite, the chief commercial officer, CEO, but it flows through your accounting group and your receivables and your treasury and your operations. It's got to flow throughout your organization, and I really believe an organization will not survive long term without integrity as a floor. So that's one of my two or three principal things I look for. I've looked for in my career.
How do you get the right people on board the vessel?
Um, well, these days it's a lot easier than it used to be because you've got these enormous management companies that you go to and they crew your ships. But actually, one of the other things that I think is so important in running a business, and is a philosophy I've always had, and that is I call it get the right people on the bus. And um, we all have strengths and weaknesses. And the best example I can give of that is actually myself. Back when in 1999, when we did the management buyout of Navios, where we acquired it from FedNav, all of a sudden we were a standalone company, and all the risks that entailed. We no longer had FedNav as a shareholder. And I'm my background. I was CEO, but my background is commercial, chartering, trading, and without sounding modest, that's really what I did pretty well. But I needed someone who could really act as a deflector for me and offset my weaknesses. And when we did the management buyout, we hired a lawyer to represent management, a fellow named Robert Shaw, who's very well known in the maritime industry. And Robert and I we spent 4 or 5 months basically living together, putting the management buyout together. And when we finished the buyout, about 6 months later, I approached Robert, who was a very successful senior partner at Healy and Bailey, which was arguably the number one maritime legal firm in the US. And I said, Robert, I want you to come and join Navios as executive vice president, my number two. And it took me 6 months to convince him, but I managed to tweak him here and there. And it was great because he had a whole bunch of strengths that I didn't have. And so I use that as an example to say you've really got to get the right people on the bus. And once you get the right people on the bus, you sort of set up a direction you want to go on and make sure everyone's bought into it, and off you go. But um, the term getting the right people on the bus is always in the back of my head when I was running a business.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great example. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like the content, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot. Thank you so much.